Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and before the video begins, I want to say channel stuff. Yes, new content here. We've got ourselves just a bunch of Pokemon stuff. Pokemon Horizons plot analysis is the latest video. Super hype stuff. Horizons is so good. TCG stuff, as well as Pokemon Legends ZA stuff. That's going to be the new content, mostly. Of course, I'm still going to put out some other Pokemon content as well, but these will be the last few Pokemon Masters videos I do. I'm going to be doing this hot takes video. We're going to be doing the Arc N overview, Arc N summons, and Arc N showcase, and that will be the final Pokemon Masters content I put out on this channel, at least as a Pokemon Masters main content creator. There will still technically be future Pokemon Masters content, but I'm not going to go too much into that, and it's not going to be common. Just want to mention that. Anyway, so this is a hot takes. Let's go ahead and see what spicy takes y'all left, if any, because we are like 2 for 3 on non-spicy takes. So let's hope that we actually have some. All right. I really dislike sync pairs with mechanics that consume berries or status moves, uses with buddy moves as a main gimmick. They feel needlessly complicated and boring to use. I understand some gimmicks and mechanics kind of need to be in play to prevent every character from being one-hit nuke machines. But this one feels really lame, especially when most powerful units are far more straightforward. I can kind of see... Okay, well, for one, this isn't really a hot take. I think most people agree. Berries are very, very wasted in this game. So pulling up POMA tools here, we've got Dexios. Like, I mean, this guy's definitely not the most, like, the greatest example of a berry user. Is like 3 uses of berries, and I think what he gets it back, he gets uses back of his buddy move. This would have just functioned fine if this is like a once per sync cycle buddy move. Would not really have mattered too much. I mean, it's just there. I mean, yeah, decent enough buddy move, but like, and decent enough like hit design, but you could have made him a bit more streamlined and just been, you know, better pretty much. Again, this isn't really that much of a hot take. I really don't see how it would be. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, like they're not that great of mechanics. They can be, and like characters can play into them well, but it's just kind of a mechanic that's there. I don't think they should update seasonal units because it adds another level of potential investment to some of the most self-contained units in the game. Sometimes it's nice to know 35 is all you need and all you ever get. I can agree with this because of how Pokemon Masters is consistently terrible and how they actually handle sync pair upgrades. Because the way they handle upgrades is that they give it to every character of that type of category instead of giving it to the ones that actually need it. The only example of this is literally their first method of upgrades, which were good, which was grid expansions. They would only give out grid expansions to older sync pairs, like, well, expanded grids, like the 6 tiles here, you know, the ones that, you know, after years of release. Like, these are good. Like, a lot of these are legitimately good for characters, but then they started making them worse, and then they started making more premium upgrades, like, I guess, EX rolls, though I don't really think that's that big of a deal, but also, like, 5 out of 5 tiles, then Super Awakening and stuff like that, right? And again, now Super Awakening 5 out of 5 tiles are going to every single character, not older ones who need it. They're also going to new characters, which is not how the mechanics should work. There's too many methods of upgrading in this game. And that's why I don't think this is that hot of a take, but also at the same time, it's like, obviously we want seasonals to get better. It's like, Summer Ice, Fall Ice Roll is not going to get better, right? It's like, she's not going to get better without any sort of upgrade. There's nothing that can really save her. Like, not even a crazy lucky skill cookie could save her. Like, Critical Strike 9, that's not going to do anything for her. Like, there's a lot of, like, downside up is lucky cookie's not going to save her. Like, these big, powerful skills, it's not going to really, like, save the unit, right? So I can agree with this on one aspect and not agree on the other, because again, if they did give seasonals like 5 out of 5 grids or something, well, they would start giving every seasonal, including new ones, 5 out of 5 grids instead of just containing it to older characters and upgrading them as they go. Because that's how they are. It's stupid. Here we go. We get to see Super Awakening is a fun and accessible option to make older characters viable, and it's a good system and needs no changes at all. Troll comment. It's a fun and accessible option. This is just, there's a difference between a hot take and just saying something that's deliberately false, because obviously it's saying it's accessible is factually wrong. Saying it's fun or a good option to make characters viable, again, it needs no changes. Like, that's an opinion, but this alone makes it just not true. So it's not even a hot take, it's just incorrect. Okay, co-op battles are fun. We really need an ultimate battle equivalent to them. Co-op has so much untouched potential. It's really a shame that battles are foolproof to the point where you can practically just solo them by yourself in 3 to 4 turns. Of course, there's a concern of being able to beat harder co-op content with the RNG of being matched with good teammates, but some of the RNG can be remediated with the addition of gyms. Even then, another solution could be to just offer minimal rewards and make battles permanently available, just like Ultimate Battles. I don't know why this is a hot take. Yeah, people have been wanting co-op content for years, pretty much ever since the game's, like, since they strayed from doing co-op content, like, during the 2nd anniversary, basically. Like, even before that, co-op was dying, so people have been wanting this forever again. Not really a hot take. People want it. Yeah. They should stop giving out desirable characters like Iono, Steven, and Marnie for free. It makes you regret summoning for the original versions. That's a hot take. And that's, I mean, I can see what they mean. It's like, you know, you summoned for Steven and Metagross, you know, back in the day. It's like, now they aren't as good. But also, that's just the cycle of a gacha game. It's like, they made their bank off of Steven as a character in his regular base outfit. And we're like, all right, we don't care anymore. And so they just gave us a free version of, like, Steven, Iono, and Marnie, right? Yeah, no, they already got your money for that Steven and Metagross character, and again in the form of the Arc suit, so they don't really care to. Yeah, they're fine to really re-release these. So yeah, I don't really agree with this, which is why it's a hot take. So fair enough. This is a good hot take. Pokemon Masters is bad because I never get what I want from the gacha. Grr, same. I think they milked Buddy Move enough. Now it's time to give Buddy Moves to some free-to-play units. They also reduced the hiatus time of Legendary Gauntlet, which feels right now too much. They should reduce hiatus time of Legendary Gauntlet, which right now feels too much. No, this is a hot take for sure. They milk Buddy Moves enough. Give Buddy Moves to free-to-play units. We do have free-to-play units with Buddy Moves, but also I get what they mean. Yeah, more free-to-play units should get Buddy Moves just because their kits are so bland and boring, and some of them can be made good, but I think half the effect of like not giving them Buddy Moves is because they don't care to make them good. At least not that good. Most of the time. Like, obviously there's exceptions. Like, for damage dealers, we just got Lodge Diantha, which isn't free because Diantha, but like semi-free, kind of, not really, but maybe-ish, you know, whatever. But then also you've got yourself like good free supports that have existed, like Hop and Professor Sycamore and stuff. I mean, but yeah, I could see why people want this. Reducing the highest time of Legendary Gauntlet, which right now feels like too much. Yeah, hey, if you like the Gauntlet enough to friggin' play it, you know, potentially once a month is basically what you're asking for, go for it, but people would burn out of that shit way too fast. If you enjoy it, have fun. Fucking cheers. Dynamax and Pokemon Masters was wasted. It feels it should just retract the other 2 trainers while the Dynamax Pokemon wails on the opponent. I said walks. Wails on the opponent for a few turns while taking no damage instead of just being a one-move thing. That would make it more like the actual game, and that would have been cool. But obviously, it's like, I say this would be a cool idea, but it's like, how would it actually play? Like, how would that be incorporated actually into the game? How would it go against, like, modern fights? Is it really going to be better than just a one-use move? I mean, it probably would be, but at the same time, it just really depends, I think. If a Dynamax move, if like a Pokemon Dynamax, like, as the enemy was sinking and they don't take stink damage, then it could be broken. And I would probably agree there. So I can kind of see how they say it was wasted, but I don't think it was necessarily wasted. I think it was incorporated well enough for the game that Masters is, but, you know, probably could have been incorporated better, sure. Getting shafted is fun, and every unit should be paid. Again, just another, again, I get y'all want to make hot takes that are like blatantly hot takes, but at the same time, it's like, this is just something you're saying to say. You're speaking words. You're saying words. You don't really actually think that, and it's not really something that you can actually make a valid point on. Come on. Hot take, most of the battle-related events are trash. The Gauntlet is so time-consuming. Battle Battle has no purpose after the first time. Extreme battle events and Ultimate Battles are very hard and thus not enjoyable to beat, but rather stressful. Damage Challenge feels like cheating and also very boring with Sing spam and stuff. Champion Stadium is no challenge once you have all the broken characters. The ones I actually find enjoyable are the Battle Rally, High Score event. You enjoy the high score event and occasional battle events like the Paseo Subway and take on Team Rocket. It actually incentivizes you to think before making a team to get the best possible rewards and not just Unga Boonga, here comes the rats. Hope we get cool co-op or gym-related stuff with the difficulty of the Black Rayquaza event more often. Kind of, I can see what they mean. The thing with like the way the game's like event structure is organized is that like they know that people like different things, so they release so much different content. It's like, you enjoy these game modes and you want more of these, which is fair, but a lot of people also enjoy these game modes. So it's like a give and take. It's like, you have the game modes you enjoy, you have the game modes you don't enjoy. Some people could say they like these events and not like these. Some could say they like these events. Okay. Some could say they like these events and not like, you know, these or whatever, right? People like what they like different things. You have things you like, people have everything they like. I think it's fine. You know, you could say they should release better events or more, you know, more other like like events that want versatility, sure, but you know, you're already admitting you like these like lesser extreme battle type of events and the high score event and the battle rally, so you're already content in some way. I mean, this is a weekly event. This is an event that happens every 2 months, and this has happened what so far 2 times. Probably get another one at some point. Actually, no, 3 times because we did have another one. So we actually get these like battle events basically 2 times a month as well. So, or well, once every 2 months as well. So, you know, it's not. I think it's fine. Kind of a hot take, not really. I mean, you know, people obviously gonna want more versatility and stuff, but you know, it doesn't really matter because again, everything's already so versatile. The soundtrack is good overall, some absolute killers, while others being less than desirable. That being said, due to a lot of them being good, it makes only a certain percentage stand out compared to the rest. Also, the song key distribution lately has been whack. Not everyone needs a song key. Jukebox was a neat side addition that could have been better with alternate ways to get some song keys behind EX. Coins, I don't know, like 500, if we EX a sync pair, we get the coins back. A way to exchange the background music of the center. Yeah, allows to select what can be shuffled. There's just so much potential in something of this like the game. I think it's so meaningless outside of collection. Let me get Glorious Battle Leon without getting him. Also, that's the best battle theme of the last year, no doubt, no question about it. That's a hot take, definitely not. If you mean the best song that was added to the jukebox, what was the best song that was added to the jukebox? Probably Glorious Battle Cynthia? Nah, sorry, Glorious Battle Leon is like good, but it is not a Glorious Battle theme. Not really. I guess Glorious Battle Cynthia would be at least up there. I can't think of the like immediate ones off the top of my head that are like really, really good. Unless you want to count the Battle Shadowlane theme, even though it's been in the game for years and has only just recently been added to the jukebox. But anyway, if you're not counting that, then yeah, fair enough, whatever. But the jukebox definitely needs some revamp for sure. I think like this idea of being able to like have your background music that you want played during certain things like in your menus is a far better idea than what like the default music is. Like allow me to change the theme of the music when I'm in the summon screen. Well, the summon screen, I guess, you know, they want to put the music in for new characters, so honestly you can probably just leave that. But like the background of the actual Pokemon Center, the Trainer Lodge background while I'm in like my upgrade menu, like change my, let me like shuffle what music I want in that. Like I full agree. And you know, ways to make other themes more accessible without having to actually own the sync pair and EX them. Sure, fair enough, whatever. You know, people want free things. So, not really that hot of a take. This is the hottest take out of all of that. Yeah, he's definitely... Sorry, a lot of people probably agree with this. I don't care. Glorious Battle Leon is not that great. It's a good theme, but it's not like top tier. Sorry. When the game first released, we had features that opponent syncing wiped all of our buffs. I think it was a cool mechanic that put you on a timer, would give value nowadays. The sync acceleration or double support comps. Give us PvP. Oops. Okay. There's your hot take. Yeah, give us PvP. Buddy, you can take your PvP in the form of the legendary gauntlet and high score event and whatever other rank content there is. You can take that instead. I do honestly kind of agree with this idea though. Like, I think the funnest ultimate battle in the game is Palmer because he's basically almost a pre-sync like requirement if you don't have Signature Mina or you're not using Signature Mina. And I think that makes it super fun. And so it's kind of like that where if your sync buffs get wiped, you know, when the enemy syncs, well, you'll be losing a lot of damage, and it really again incentivizes, as I said, sync acceleration teams and just hitting hard super fast, which would give a lot of good value to characters with tiles like these that I can immediately think of. This one comes to my mind. Champion Nate with the Dragon Drop Zone, who can apply Dragon Zone on entry. You know, I don't think there's much use in these passes a lot of times often, just because a lot of characters are trying to set up and they're not doing too much damage. But in an event where like you get your sync buffs wiped and the enemy is really like hardcore neutering you as you are trying to do as much damage as possible, like, you know, build up and whatnot, having passes like these that would apply these entry like weather zone terrain effects or whatever would be very helpful. And that would be a very big buff to like Champion May and Brendan as well, with how their weather effects work and how their extension is very whack. So I could definitely agree with this. So again, not another hot take. This is a hot ass take though. Give us PvP. If you want the game to die, just say that. I'll say it. Mixed Scout is not worth pulling on whatsoever. The chance of getting something good is ruined by subpar 2020-2022 units. When you get to pity, it's good, but it's not worth 30,000 paid gems. That depends on if you like spending money or not. If you are someone who just does not want to spend money on the game ever, then like sure. But if you are someone who wants to just like spend money here or there to get like the Mixed Scout unit and potentially have a chance of getting something else, then it could be valuable. This is just a obviously all of these are opinionated, but it's like this one's really opinionated because there's a difference between like a person who is like free to play, semi free to play, or full on mega whale. Like that's really just gonna be what's like going in with your opinion there, I would say anyway. So, but I mean, most people probably would agree that the mixed scout is not worth going for someone who is just like lightly spending. You know, select scouts are far better. Even daily discounts are probably just better because you're going for specific units that could actually be like really helpful in battle, not just a coin flip basically. Not even a coin flip, just all random. Like a needle in a haystack, I guess. Anyway. Almost every ultimate battle is terribly designed. It feels like you can only beat them with 1 or 2 specific characters and you shouldn't even try, Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think most people obviously would probably disagree in the fact that there's a lot of like very specific characters. Like the strongest characters can usually be the ones that can beat the most ultimate battles. Like Arctic Steven's like the best support in the game. He's like the backbone of so many different teams for so many different ultimate battles. Same thing with Champion Blue, right? They were just the backbone support of so damn many teams, still are. And I mean, I can see why people would think that. And a lot of people can probably say it's like, okay, if you have these characters, that really trivializes a lot of the fights. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Really just depends on how the gimmicks beat. But I think that this can be true in fights, in fights like with really stupid, hyper-specific gimmicks. Like maybe Dana is a decent enough example, but you can beat those with like some relatively versatile teams. But obviously, it's not like the best thing ever. I don't know. Ultimate battles are like a tricky subject in general. It's like, do you really want to equate their value when they only give you 300 gems and they are permanent, or do you want to like, you know, because they are also still super restrictive oftentimes? It's, you know, it's weird. But yeah, I would agree ultimate battles are restrictive, but they require 1 or 2 specific characters. It depends, I guess, on your skill or what you have. Like, you know, what's a good example? Obviously, Wally's ultimate battle is very tailored towards like Renegade Cynthia, but at the same time, it's like you can beat it with, you know, a Ghost Sunsetter and a special defense debuffer separate. It just is like an example. Probably not a great example because Wally's not one of the harder ones, but still, I don't know. It just, I can see like both sides of the opinion on this one a lot. Okay. Oh boy. While I do appreciate that we've gotten so many free units through this Lodge, BP, Damage Challenge, and Gyms, and the occasional events like Riley as a Gauntlet player, I also think they've gone overboard. It just feels like bloat. I know every unit can't have fancy personalized passes, a cool sync animation, a fun story of NEX styles, but these make units feel more. But these things make units feel like more than their strength. I'm not asking for this to be removed, as another community is still waiting for more free Paldea, but I wish there was a little more care instead of just another sync pair that will rot outside of Gauntlet. I can definitely see that. I mean, these characters definitely just feel like filler bloat things, but at the same time, it's like a lot of chances have been given for players to give players a chance to use characters that they just don't have otherwise. Like if we want to take a look at characters that are, we'll say like Damage Challenge and stuff, like characters you can actually apply, like get for free, event, training tickets, battle points. I don't want to say limited. We'll just do that. Story, sure. Even though story doesn't matter. But like, Iono and Tranquil, not Tranquil, that's not Tranquil, that's Kilowattrel. But like Iono, for example, if someone does not have like regular Iono, then here you go. You can use Iono, one of your favorite characters, there they are. That's kind of what this is catering to. Same thing with Marnie and Steven. Like these 3 are pretty big examples. It's like if you don't have the gems to go for these characters, especially because they're all bad except for Iono, like, you know, Marnie and Steven are not that great, at least without Super Awakening. But you know, if you want like a version of them and you're just like, these are my favorite characters, well, here you go. You can get them here. Same thing with Clavel. Obviously, the Furiso girl, you know, people want to play as like these NPCs that are, you know, super cool, cute, whatever. Shauna is a general pool unit. A newer player might just not be able to pull Shauna for a long time in the general pool, so getting her and Sylveon is like a good thing. You know, I think that's probably the biggest like piece of value for these free-to-play characters is how they can apply for other players that, you know, just don't have those characters or like, you know, cannot pull those characters. Sometimes though, I think obviously, you know, it probably, I can see the points, like these characters are just bloat filler that are never going to use outside of the Gauntlet. I can see that in the form of like How, Hop, Barry, Silver. These are like free characters you get like for legendary adventures or just playing the game, right? You don't get them by like chance. So at the same time, I can see that point. Though sometimes a lot of these characters can provide decent enough utility outside of the legendary Gauntlet. Like I think How's pretty good. How's a good enough damage dealer for any high sweet content. So, you know, there's specific examples that are kind of different from the others, I guess. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like damage challenge Hop is very, very, very gauntlet focused. You're probably never going to use him outside of that. He's just flinch, paralyzed, like self-heal utility. Even his terrain setting is not that great. So I can definitely see what they mean by on that front. But there are other like diamonds in the rough, I guess, in terms of free-to-play characters that can be of decent use to a like newer player or a free-to-play player or anything like that. So I guess I can see both sides of the argument here. I can. It's definitely a hot take to say like, oh, not big fan of these free units that just are nothing characters. Like I think a lot of people wouldn't want to hear that just because a lot of them are probably like favorites. And you know, if for example one of my favorite characters is Zinnia, you know, I would have only had 2 sync pairs of her. Let's see, yeah, I would have only had 2 characters of her if the Salamence version from the BP unit didn't exist, and that's also my favorite Pokemon. So like, there's a very big example for me that it's like my favorite character and my favorite Pokemon would not be in the game yet if they weren't a BP unit. But granted, also the other side of the thing, they might have been a fucking limited unit. They might have actually been good. So upset. Anyway, whatever. New content mechanics are cool, but a lot of it, like skill gear, feels like a chore. After the 4th anniversary, I almost stopped playing because I didn't feel like I had time for all the... Is this a real word? Yes, it is. Trivial details or something. Okay, learned a new word today. Minutia.
Minutiae.
Minutiae. Okay. Cool. New word. Okay. Anyway. So I didn't have time for all of the little details, which is fair, for sure. Even now, I do one battle with a good team on Champion Stadium to get the move candy coin and call it a day, and call it done until next week. That's fair, frankly. Like, there's a lot of daily content that's been put in this game, or like weekly content that's just like, I don't feel like doing this. The damage challenge is twice every week. The battle rally is once a week. The Champion Stadium is once a week. You know, daily stuff, obviously, we've got like the Trainer Lodge now has been added. Obviously, it's been there for like 2.5 years, but still. So, I mean, I can definitely see where people are going saying, oh, there's more content than there was, you know, a few years ago, and it's just making the game a daily a chore, even though that's kind of what they're, like, aiming for, is, like, we want to make the game be more played, but at the same time, again, you know, makes it feel like more of a chore and stuff like that if you want to, like, try and get everything. But, you know, it's a give and take. It's like, do you want everything? Well, play the game. It's, you know, again, give and take there. I can definitely see what they mean, though, for sure. Units that have a random stat boost or random debuffs are some of the most enjoyable to play with, similar to the ability Moody in the mainline games. It adds a fun element to the battle like a minigame. I find myself wanting to reach max buffs and debuffs. I can see the fun in this for sure. I actually really, really like unfortuitous units and fortuitous units as well. Like Professor Oak and Liza in the Legendary Gauntlet is one of my favorite combinations just because of the random buffs that Oak gets with his trainer move, as well as the random debuffs he applies with unfortuitous. Alongside Liza being able to effectively keep him alive, even despite being not like a fantastic support. So I can definitely see what they mean by this. I honestly think I think random buffing and random debuffing units are some of the most fun as well. Which I will say that's not going to impact my judgment of Arcsuit N once I put out his overview later today. I want to make that known. Like it's not. I'm not going to be biased towards Arcsuit N because he has random debuffs. I just want to let that be known. But yeah, I agree with this. I think it is super fun. I think that we shouldn't have stamina as that limits battles to Champion Stadium Ultimate battles, and that instead with events there. Okay, either I'm dyslexic or this is terribly written. No offense. We shouldn't have stamina battles as that limits battles to Champion Stadium Ultimate battles, and that instead with events there. Okay, use commas, please, or periods, full stop, something, because holy shit, there's a single comma in here. God damn it. Per day, you can fight them and gain rewards similar to Sync Orbs, but without the rewards once you surpass it, and also Arcsuit N feels... Oh my god, this is a massive run-on sentence. Okay. Arcsuit N just feels good for debuffing, but that's it, honestly. And I think Irish took Dark, N takes Electric, Red takes Flying, and become Charizard Y. Blue for Water, Wallace isn't considered the champion Ho, and I don't care. And Green takes Grass, it's Leaf. Diantha takes Fairy, Gita takes Poison, Alder takes Bug, I guess Rock for Cuckoo would be cool. Okay, we went from talking about like stamina battles to Arcsuit contention. Okay, so shouldn't have stamina. Well, sorry. I guess I get what they mean, but if stamina did not exist, content would be so much more grindy. Because if you played the game back on release, you would know that the game didn't have stamina. And, well, stuff was a lot more grindy. In order to actually get rewards, you would get very minimal rewards per run because you could do the run unlimited amounts of times. So people who are complaining now that the game's a chore would be complaining tenfold because of the fact that it would be even more of a chore if the game did not have stamina or skip tickets or anything like that. So stamina is objectively pretty much a good addition to the game. And if you want to just like do events like daily or whatever, just do like the daily 400, like the daily 30 stamina, you get like 400 coin things type of battles. It's not that big of a deal. Stamina is not a big issue. If you want to like grind out the game, you know, you do you, but most people would heavily not prefer that. So that is kind of a hot take. Arc Suit N is good for debugging, but that's it. No, he's definitely good for more. It's just that people don't like investing to 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5. Once he gets to those levels, he's really, really solid. Okay, if you don't like him because he's not good at 1, 2, or 3 out of 5, then fair enough, whatever. But he's good at 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5, and that's just as a unit. So say what you want, but it's true. Irish should have taken Dark. I agree. And takes Electric. I agree. Red takes Flying and becomes Charizard Y. I don't think I could see that happening. I would have just preferred to be Blue Pidgeot, even though that's, you know, probably people don't care about that, but whatever. Whatever it is what it is. I think that would have been honestly cool though, Red and Charizard Y. That could have been interesting, but that probably wasn't ever going to happen. Blue for Water. I think Wallace should have taken Water. Don't care if he's not the champion. He was rivaling against Steven in the, you know, the first chapter of the Arceus arc. You know, give him a Melodic, a cool fucking Arc Suit, instead of probably giving it to fucking Blue or whatever, whoever's gonna actually get it. Leaf takes Grass, fair enough, whatever. Diantha takes Fairy, yeah. Gita takes Poison, Alder takes Bug, and Kukui for Rocky, oh sure, whatever. Yeah, I think those are good contenders, at least these last ones, Diantha, Gita, and Alder. I could see Kukui making sense for Rock as well, honestly. I think that's pretty cool. Nina Xenoblade 2 is amazing, you should all play Xenoblade 2. But he's got, like how EX Weather works. Uploading everything at the start and try to finish it quickly is cool. I guess. I mean, like people, I think EX Weather is fine it's definitely good for like shorter battles, but for longer battles, it is a drag because then extension is gone. You have to constantly be resetting it. It's iffy. It's like maybe a combination of like Groudon and Koraidon can reset Sun very well, but then otherwise, you know, Suit Morty is like who you're going to have to run for Brendan in longer fights, unless you just want to not ignore his EX Sun, you know. That's an option too, I guess, with like an Arc Suit Cynthia team. You know, it's iffy at longer battles and good in shorter ones. Pokemonmasters also needs to work on improving modes. They release them all the time, yet they have little to no changes or improvements, and that is uncool beans. Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I think these modes can definitely use some sort of revamps in some way, some sort of improvement. High Score Event got the two types and then a 200,000 point increase. Damage challenge, I mean, I don't know what you could do to really increase the modes, but yeah, I could see making them more interesting would be better. I mean, Legendary Gauntlet was gone for like 4 months, 3 or 4 months, and it came back with no changes other than a new arena being added to it, which can happen literally at any time anyway. So yeah, I can see that. And then damage challenge, I don't even know how I don't know how you improve that other than making its like limitations a little bit better. I don't know. Interesting though. Xenoblade Chronicles over Pokemon Masters. Yeah, I agree. Kabu 100% deserves to be Pokefair and be invited to the trainer lodge because he is hot. Shame his attacking stats are higher than his defensive stats. Is that true, actually? I don't remember. Hold on, Kabu. Sent to Scorch. Yeah, they actually are. Yeah, they far better, actually. So funny. Despite being a support character. Yeah, that's true. If he deserves to be Pokefair, I mean, he's a popular character in Japan. That's why he's a Pokefair, and also they just don't make anyone general pull anymore. So yeah, sure. It irks me when type specialists get sync paired with a Pokemon completely outside of their typing theme without explanation, like Marnie and Mawile. And even with some that have a story behind, I'm still slightly annoyed. Like Cygnus and Morty has, they have a shiny Ho-Oh sync pair before Gengar. That is a pretty hot take. Like I get what this means, but it's at the same time, it's like you should still give them Pokemon outside of their types because it makes them more like versatile as trainers. And it makes them like, you know, kind of go outside of their comfort zone a little bit as type specialists. Like I can kind of get what you mean if it's like give Marnie a dual dark type. Like if you gave her an Obstagoon that was normal type instead of dark, that could be interesting. Like that can definitely like fit both criteria of still being a type specialist, but also having a Pokemon that's not like the dark typing. But I don't know. I think I'm fine with this. I like that they give trainers Pokemon that just don't match them. I think that leads to some very unique combinations that work very well. And this one, I'm not annoyed by this at all. Signature Morty, him getting Ho-Oh is like, come on, he's been hunting Ho-Oh forever. He deserves it, just like how Yucine got Shiny Suicune. And just to go into that, my favorite character, well, my pretty much second favorite character has a flying type, so and that she got from her bestie, so I'm happy about that. All right, very very happy to have some like nice synergy there, some nice backstory behind two characters that are best friends getting each other Pokemon. That's awesome. Jock's custom lucky skill should have been steady aim, prevents crit rate drops. Wouldn't have helped because he's still deep. This would not have prevented him from losing all of his stats upon using his buddy move. So this actually would have been useless. So no. Yeah, sorry. Steady aim would not have prevented his crit drops from being debuffed by his buddy move. They still would have been lost anyway. So this would have been useless. Don't know if it counts, but people thinking Iris would have been the dark suit was kind of ridiculous. Her ace is Haxorus. She has a dragon specialist, and she can speak to dragons, which is a Pokemon he often and with Zoroark is a Pokemon he often associates with. Makes much more sense. You can say it makes sense, makes much more sense all you like, but at the same time, N could have just as easily gotten electric, and then that would have still freed up Dark for Iris, who is a champion. It doesn't matter that her ace is like. This makes sense when you think about the fact that N just got Zoroark. But if you think before N actually got Zoroark, this could have made sense for sure, but her getting Hydreigon would have been fine. And being Dark type would have been fine. Because her ace as Champion Iris, which her Arc Suit would have been in her champion form, or at least it should have been. I don't think it would have been in her regular outfit. Should have, that would have been with Hydreigon. I definitely don't think it's a stretch or anything like that to say that Champion Iris could have been the Dark Arc Suit. They just didn't go for it. I think because I'm gonna guarantee it's because of Red. I'm honestly putting my coins down saying that Red is gonna be the Electric Arc Suit with Pikachu now, and that is probably the only reason the N did not get the Electric Arc Suit with Zekrom, just so they can like let Red shine there in his stupid ass Electric Arc Suit. God damn it. Rat, the year of the rats is gonna be back. We're gonna cry. Okay, yeah, so. That one's a bit of a hot take. So overall, I think people did a bit better on the hot takes. There were some pretty good ones sprinkled in for sure. Like this one. I mean, this one's a little bit hot. This one's not. Yeah, okay. I can see some of these takes being hot. Definitely some of them not being hot, but whatever. It is what it is. So. Thank you all for leaving your hot takes for the final time for Pokemon Masters. Let me know what you think about some hot takes down in the comments below, I guess. And check out my newer content if you want to. Only if you want to. You do not have to. I'm not going to force anyone to do that. Yeah, I'll see you later. Hope you all enjoyed. Peace.